Hello, my name is Peter Roper. I'm known as the Family Businessman. I represent a whole bunch of family businesses in a thing called the Family Business Practice. Today we're looking and sharing ideas about the three keys to family businesses, which are filling the fridge, sleeping at night, and working with people you know, like and trust. Now today we want to cover know, like and trust with a long-term friend of mine called Michelle Mills-Porter, who owns a business called Ensize UK, and we want to talk about know and like and trust. So, hi Michelle.
Hello.
So, tell me a bit about Ensize UK and your business.
Well, Ensize UK is a behaviour profiling business. So we have a number of practitioners. We've got about 25 practitioners at the moment dotted around the UK. And what we do is we help people to understand themselves and each other a little bit better. So I'm kind of busy helping them build their business as well as finding other practitioners as well. And obviously serving my own clients too.
So, what got you into that in the first place?
Well, it's something I was always interested in. I've always loved behaviour profiling, but there was one of those kind of key moments for me when everything just clicked into place. And for me, it was during the aftermath of the tsunami. So I was involved in the Boxing Day tsunami. We were out there on holiday, and we spent a week as refugees in Jimmy Lowell's garden. Jimmy Lowell was one of the elders of the village, and there were like 150 of us rammed into his garden. And we spent a week of our lives living there and you know, trying to get over it and trying to help people put their lives back together. And it was there really that I learnt, or my understanding of human behaviour just accelerated tenfold. And when you're in that situation, and it's life-changing, and you're sitting there wondering if you're ever going to get home, you do reevaluate what's going on in your life. And it was funny, the things that became important to me were not my very successful business and, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. It was my family, and it was my mum-in-law's roast potatoes, and it was understanding people and watching how they interacted. And what happened was I came across something that I call human magnificence, and that was really key for me. I've put a name to it because I don't know what else to do with it. I saw human beings doing incredible things for each other, and I think the essence of it is that we all have it within us to have this magnificence, but until we are in a life or death situation like that, we don't access it, we don't get it out of our bag, and I don't know why that is. So I kind of came back on a bit of a mish. Mish is on a mish. I'm on a mish.
And there you go. Eventually, I know there was a bit of time in between it, but eventually you had the opportunity with Ensize to do exactly that, really, which was to help profile people and help that basic understanding. How does Ensize work in terms of know, like and trust? How does it work for you that makes the difference with people?
Well, for me, anything that helps to accelerate building rapport is a massive, useful tool, and that's how I use it. So, you know, I use behaviour profiling in business not to do the behaviour profiles of everyone for HR to have a copy and for the report to sit in their desk. It's teaching salespeople how to sell to their clients better, how to understand their clients' wants and needs. It's teaching people how to get on with their suppliers better, how to diffuse awkward situations, all sorts of things, but mainly it's about building rapport. So if you want to build rapport with anyone, whether it's a potential client, a supplier, someone else in the business, that's behaviour profiling that helps you understand them a little bit better is absolutely fundamental to that.
And of course, when you're dealing with a family business, that can go to another level, can't it?
Yeah, because you can't fire family. Well, I've got to be careful what I say here, but normally it's a little bit more complicated, and you do have to make an extra effort sometimes to be able to understand each other and to get over that, because you're kind of stuck in it. You've got to get on with it, roll your sleeves up and get on with it. If you can understand that we all see the world from a different perspective, even if we are related, then it just helps you to understand that's just that behaviour. That's all it is. You know, we can get over it. And it really, really does. Once you understand behaviour profiling, it really does help people to say, do you know what? That's just his behaviour. I can live with it.
And motivation as well. It's, obviously, I know through Ensize you look at motivation as well uniquely. when looking at profiling. And motivation is a key to any business, let alone a family business. It comes from a different place, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we all have different values and we all have different motivations, and this is why it took me so long after the tsunami, because it took a long while for the penny to drop. You know, Stuart would say there's nothing new there.
Yes, I'm not saying the thing. Yeah, right.
But it did, because the behaviour profiling systems I was using, I felt there was something missing. I wanted something more complicated. I wanted something else. And when Ensize approached me and told me about their system, they showed me this third dimension, which is called driving forces. And I'd never seen it before. And for me, it answered all the questions that I had. So it was the missing piece of the puzzle for me. You can't look at behaviour without looking at what drives that behaviour. And what drives that behaviour is our values as a human being and what's going on in our life right now.
Of course, when you talk about values and we talk about family businesses, something I bang on about all the time, as you know, is that family businesses stand or fall by the value sets that they demonstrate on a day-to-day basis. Always. So to have that ability to analyse that or review it or whatever, that's big, that's important.
It is big, and I've used this with small companies and large. And it's incredible to see when people understand that their driving forces are just because they're going through a different thing, or just because they're brought up in a different culture, religion, environment. Those things have an effect on our driving forces. They don't have an effect on our behaviour, they have an effect on our driving forces. And once we get that, then, you know, the larger organisations I've been working with suddenly know how to motivate their staff, because they know exactly what's going on with that person. And out of the driving force choices that we have, they derive from the work of Edward Spranger. So back in the 1920s, his Types of Men work was published, and that's where it's drawn from, and we've just brought it up to date. So although everyone might have a list of all different values, the assessment that we use just puts it down to seven key ones that we use.
So getting close to home, just before we finish, I guess, what has that done post the tsunami and all the fun that you had with that? Obviously, we've got time to talk about it, but obviously we've known each other a long time, so I know that story well. What has that understanding the whole of the behaviour process and the driving forces done for you as a family business? Because it's the two of you. What's that done for you?
Well, Stuart and I are anomalies. We're kind of the exact opposite. And this is really funny, Peter, because I was working with a client and I was thinking, do you know what? We're just not getting on. I've done my profile, I've done his profile, I've shown us how we can work together, and still it's me doing all the work, and he's not trying. I'm not getting what I need from this relationship. So driving home, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to knock it on the head. I'm going to walk away from this project, and from now on, every client that I deal with, I'm going to do their behaviour profile, and if they are the same behaviour as him, I'm going to say, jog on, mate, go and find yourself another consultant, because we're not going to work together. And I got home and I did Stuart's profile.
And it was...
Lo and behold. The biggest learning curve for me there is that if you want to make it work, you can. And Stuart and I we are poles apart. He does what he does in the business, I do what I do in the business, and never the twain shall meet. So, you know, if anyone rings up and they want anything to do with the systems or the pricing, whatever, that's all his bag. And anything to do with people, he won't even answer the phone. It's like, your bag, that's it. So there's this way of working together that has been so successful. I mean, we're celebrating our 24th year together this year.
Oh, that's great.
And you know, I'm in love with him now as I was back then. So it's really helped our relationship, our working relationship, and my relationship with all of my practitioners and everyone that I work with, because I understand them a little bit better. And
so, in just a handful of seconds, bottom line, the key thing for you is?
The key thing is, if you want to build rapport, if you want to understand how other people tick and you want to be able to build rapport with them, then understanding their behaviour profile just accelerates that for you.
Okay, it makes total sense to me. So, Michelle, thank you so much for the time of recording this quick video. all that I think we've been covering fits know, like and trust beautifully, and I think particularly fits family businesses because, as Michelle says, your family is your family. So therefore, understanding how everybody ticks makes an awful lot of difference. And if you need to create rapport internally with the family or externally with clients and suppliers, etc., then it makes an awful lot of sense to understand how you tick and get the information together to make you understand that we all see the world in a different way. So thanks so much for listening today. If you want to know more about Family Businessman, about me, go to familybusinessman.com. If you want to know more about the Family Business Practice, go to familybusinesspractice.com. And thank you so much for listening today. Thank you.